And we're live.
Hello, welcome back. It's David here, and this is, what the hell is the name of the show again?
CEG Dealer Podcast.
CEG Dealer Podcast with David. I love it when they add the with whoever. That way they can swap you out whenever they want. You know what I'm saying? It's not like David's show or anything. It's the CEG Dealer Podcast. We're going to have a special guest that's going to squeeze on in here. This is all about craps today. And we've got a crap player extraordinaire who's also a dealer extraordinaire. He's been through our dealer school. I think you were specially trained by moi. And this is one of our prouder, one of my prouder moments in dealing. Yeah, no, we're gonna have plenty of space. So we've been very busy. So we're gonna start this off. We're gonna give people some updates about what we've been doing. We have a special end of year Patreon. Thank you very much being planned.
We don't have anything dated yet.
No dates yet. We're still working on that. We're evolving that. Most of it's gonna take place here. We're gonna go out and play a little bit. We're gonna have some fun, and maybe work that massage parlor over upstairs from the school. You don't know. She's got a big enough shower, dude. She's got plenty of hot water up there. Okay. Today is, again, how to win, not how to win. It's going to be how to play craps. So I'm basically going to do Dice with David right here live, but I'm not going to give away everything. I still want you guys to have a reason to, like, pay and come out and, pay. We don't want to give away all the secret sauce, but I spent last night carousing. Is that a word? Carousing the internet, looking for fellow dice enthusiasts. And, there we go. There he is. So Matt's a graduate of our school. He's been dealing for
since March 17th.
Yeah, so. Since March. He's doing fantastic. You love dice?
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love dice, and we have a big ass. I finally have like a full class where we couldn't even get everybody around the table today, so that was exciting. With COVID and everything else going on, it's been sort of up and down. But school was pretty packed today, so that was exciting. Our poker class is huge.
Nice in person.
So it took us a minute to get over here. Okay, do we have anything to say? If you're interested in submitting strategies, those kinds of things, down in our description, there's a link tree, so use that, please. And do we have any other announcements? No? We're going to get right to it? We're going to get right to it. Okay. So a little background. Why the hell am I here talking about craps? Well, I do love craps to this day. You know what's funny is, we've had a lot of success with Casino Quest, and we've had a lot of success with the school, and things are fine. And someone asked me today, they were kind of surprised that I was at the school, and my only answer is I love the school, man. Mm-hmm. I love dice. I can't always plug in as much as I used to, but I love to teach it. Today I taught it right to the end. People were like anxious to go, and it just feels good. Even more, to be honest, it was when I go into the Strat and the Sahara and a lot of casinos where we put people and seeing the dealers there. Mm-hmm. Especially the ones who have paid attention, aren't slinging checks yet.
Oh yeah.
There's a few people that cut corners right out of school, dude, huh?
Too many corners.
Too many corners, yeah. So we recommend against that. But it's a very proud thing. I remember walking through a casino one time with my mother, and there were a few dealers who said hello, and that was kind of cool. Because my mother doesn't understand really what the hell I'm doing up here. But so I broke in 1991 on a 25-cent table, and otherwise called a bird game. And me and a friend of mine that I had broke in with, we worked our ass off trying to figure out how to beat this game. You start as a dealer. And I think because you started more as a player and then you became a dealer.
100%.
You played first, and there's a lot of people think that there's a formula out there, based on how the table goes. There really isn't, and we're not here to pretend that. By the way, we're going to get to those components, but I over the course of my career, I've always enjoyed playing the game, and there's more reasons to play the game than, quite frankly, to win.
Oh yeah.
And I think for a lot of our community, it's the win is almost secondary. And I'm going to go down. I was trying to share this slideshow, but I think we're going to get right to it. So first of all, one of the big things I explain to people when they come here is the math sucks.
It's horrible.
The math
doesn't work
sucks.
out for anyone in that game.
It doesn't. So in the casino space, dice is a better game than most. Dice, doing like soft counts on blackjack or just playing basic blackjack strategy. Roulette. Roulette's a tough game. Good game to break even.
Yeah,
it's a jackpot game or a break even game. That's true. Slots, obviously, the math isn't there, but the math sucks. If you're out at a casino and you're worried that much about the math, you're probably in the wrong place, right?
Casino war, but still no.
Yeah. Casino's not the place if you're too focused on the
Nah.
math. It just isn't. So I know people refer back to the math all the time, and they have these really long discussions about math. I have zero discussions about math. Even with my students, very often we go over the math because there's odds and there's math to be applied to the game. But when it comes to learning craps, believe it or not, even with players, colors and units, man, get away from the math because the math gets too difficult. And at high limit, you can't worry about the math. So let's get away from that. So I was mentioning how last night I did a whole 3 or 4 hours of research. And there's a couple of you out there that really do a great job in evolving strategies, explaining. Ken knows is one of them.
Oh yeah.
Pro Craps has this residual conversation, goes into the nuts and bolts. We love John out there.
Fantastic channel.
Yeah, he has a great channel. But from a player perspective, a lot of what he talks about, I can see how people really enjoy that content. I can't do that content because I just can't get that deep into the game in that respect.
Yeah,
you
the
follow?
math behind every single.
Because the math just doesn't work. You can beat it to death. The don'ts, the pass line. There's only 2 ways I've ever seen people get out of the game on a consistent basis, and that's what we're going to talk now. But first, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to show you guys 2 of our best working systems, why I like them, and what it means for you. But that's why I have Matt. Matt plays a lot. Matt's actually out there. He plays. He deals. He's really into the craps ecosystem. He helps out at the school. He's actually here at Casino Quest. You can have Matt deal to you. He's actually a really, really good dealer. He knows this game on many levels. All right. So I'm going to get over the bad things. The math sucks. The next part of why you don't play it is, you got bad casinos and bad dealers,
Totally.
And you walk away. There's not a lot you can work that out in.
I've left a table just because they didn't know how to pay me out right. I was like, really? I was like, I guess you guys don't want to make money then. So because I was the only one at the table paying for the dealers. Like, well, there goes your tip guy.
Yeah. That's a good. By the way, I just saw that. Hey, John, I'm shouting out John today at Pro Craps. If you really want some interesting content, if you're really deep into craps, and I'm guessing some of you that are here, he's got some very interesting takes on the sort of the math, different systems, and if you're looking to kind of understand a lot of different levels, he's a great channel. Of course, many of you already follow Color Up, so there's a thing. The other channel I talk about a lot too is Mel at Craps Hawaii.
Yeah.
I like Craps Hawaii only because he has this alternative view. He lives in a very positive space, which I love. He loves to go for it, and we enjoy that. So there's that. Of course, Brian, Hawaii Crab Shooters. Yep. So,
I love the content because they always show their long rolls at Vegas too, which is nice.
And you
the
can
live
see,
rolls.
Yes, and these are repeater shooters. These are shooters who are looking for repeater rolls. You can see how people like that bet. They occupy their own niche in the craps community, and quite honestly, there's a lot of really fantastic people, and we're gonna do that. But there's also don't players. Another reason why I have found not to play. I don't mind don't players, and I don't mind don't strategies. It doesn't bother me, even as a dealer or as a player. What I hate is the guys are the people that walk up to the game and just literally rub it in your face constantly and just make the game adversarial with the players.
Makes it a negative table. It's like you can be a don't player but not be a negative table still.
100%. You can still cheer for the people. Everybody wants to win, but if you're there telling everybody to, nasty things, I think that takes away from the game.
For sure.
Right? I don't want to be an adversary to the guy standing next to me. I don't mind being an adversary with the dealer. I want to beat the casino.
Yeah.
I don't want to beat the boss, but I don't. And so anytime I ever have that experience, I walk away. The very first thing for me is to have fun on a craps table, and that goes true for any game in a casino. It's amazing how many people I see as a dealer who sort of suffer through it and feel like this is the experience.
Yeah.
It's not the experience. There are casinos, there are dealers, there are tables that are very... Go see Matt.
Come to the Strat.
Yeah.
You will be entertained, I promise.
Yeah. And I mean, it's great. We have a lot of great dealers there. You got to have some personality. They keep their own tokes, and they got to win their money. They got to have, even if they, it's funny because some of you guys do great even when you beat your customers because they enjoy playing with you.
Indeed. I've had players I've wiped out $200 and they brought $200 or $20 out of their wallet just to tip me. It's like, I'm glad you had a good time. Please come back.
Yeah, that's big.
And then they show up the next day, I whack another 200 and they give me another $20. It's like, keep on doing that. I like it.
Strap, by the way, game-changing casino. Our friend Brian used to run over there. There really is fantastic. A lot of really good people over there. Great supervisors, great dealers. Okay. All right, so here, we're going to run down the ways. Sorry I can't share this slideshow, but can we share it at the end? There's a few slides that are, like, locked or something. I'm not really sure, but you want me to try and share it with you?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, while he's figuring that out, we do have a couple super chats. So Christopher
fantastic.
Bird gave us $2.
He
said dice odds versus Keno odds.
Yeah, Keno sucks worse than dice.
Yeah, as far as odds, yeah.
Yeah, as far as the odds go.
No one's surprised. Okay.
Listen here, buddy.
Surprised.
No one's surprised. Hey, listen.
What's your biggest win yet on the Keno or craps?
Hey,
Yeah,
Matt,
what
you're banned from the podcast.
Hey, my biggest win's on Keno as well, which is I hate to say.
And then the other super chat is, I don't know how to say your name, T-Rel, W21, gave us $5, says, hi, David.
Hello.
I was supposed to start the poker class today, but the Afterpay program limits me to purchase total of $600, but the class costs $900.
What's that?
When it comes to that type of problem, you're gonna have to email us. So
Yeah, just come in
we
or
can't handle
email
this
us.
here on the podcast. Sorry.
Yeah. At this
Inside
point, we have
baseball.
11 people in the class. We could probably squeeze in one more. I will say that if you're at all interested in dealing dice, you better come out now. I have amazing dice jobs. We'll fast track you. Do blackjack and dice together, and boom, you'll be a crap dealer. We could probably get you out in about 6 weeks. And I have literally 5 or 6 casinos on standby for crap dealers, and really good paying ones. Not bottom of the barrel. I mean, really actually good casinos. Okay. Are you ready? We're going to get to the good thing, the reasons why you play craps. All right, again, did I mention the math sucks?
That was the first one.
That was the first one. Because if you're in it for the math isn't great. But I'm going to overcome some of your math obstacles because this is a show about changing minds and mentality. And very often when I have people show up for me, it's more about that. And I give you that based on my quite literally 31 years of being a craps dealer. Okay? And what I have seen firsthand, and I promise you what every crap dealer has seen, not every crap dealer, well, pretty much every crap dealer. There's certain ways that you can maximize returns on a crap table and win, or you just grinding out, and we'll talk about that. All right, so here's the one thing. The biggest thing I think about dice for a lot of people is a very social game. It's a game where where even if you don't know anybody at the game, if a hot roll starts, you're going to have a lot of friends before you leave.
100%.
And you're going to be sharing. I mean, this could be a lifelong. I know people that have gotten married after meeting on a dice game. I literally know a husband and wife. They were both truckers. They used to come into a casino I work with, and they met on a dice game, and, they were setters, and they made a whole life out of it, dude. The whole life out of it. I know people that... I know some people who adopted a dog and later on opened a shelter for cats I know that sounds like a weird segue, but so they had a dog and then they opened this shelter for runaway cats, and these are the kinds of things. It's that social. You get to see how people think, how they work with their money.
Oh yeah.
You follow?
How they stress.
How they deal with anxiety. I mean, it's really a great way to meet people, just in general, or just to make friends. If you're new to Vegas, for example.
Oh yeah.
And you want to figure out a way where you come from somewhere else. Didn't you come from? Where'd you come from?
I came from Chicago, and I knew only the people on the channel, and that was it. So.
That's right. You came out. That's right. And now I'm sure you've met people on a dice game now.
Yeah, plenty of people.
I mean, legitimately.
Yeah, dealers too. Dealers, when I stop by the table, they say hi. They want me to come to their table too because they had a good time as well.
I know people that have come here to town, that are new to town, and have found places to rent. Just talking, getting to know other people on a crap table. Now that could get expensive if you're not winning. You don't have to always buy in. And the nice thing about being at a craps table is you don't always have to buy in. You can actually stand and look as long as there's a spot open. You have to give up that spot as soon as someone comes. But it's a little bit unlike a blackjack table. A blackjack table, you have a seat, you have to sit down to play. And standing back is a little weird. So if you're not prepared to really sit down and play, you're kind of out of the mix. But on a crap table, you can belly up to a crap table, look around, say hello, see how things are going. You don't have to buy in right away. I had a couple ask me about that the other day. They felt like they had to buy in and be in action every shooter.
Oh yeah.
If they're on the table, well, that's just not true. You can. A lot of people wait. They only bet on themselves, and they'll wait for the dice to go all around the table, so you can put your chips in the rack and you can kind of hang out and socialize and see if it's the crew that you like, if the dealers you like the dealers, see what kind of how good the dealers are. I tell you, I have when I was younger, there was a casino, the San Remo. You remember the San? No, you don't
I remember that one.
It's the it became Oyo now.
Okay.
And before that, it was Hooters.
Yep.
But it wasn't the biggest Hooters. Okay, so if you're gonna open a Hooters, you gotta have the biggest Hooters, no? I'm just talking about the restaurant, the Hooters restaurant.
Yeah.
You can't have the second biggest Hooters. You gotta have, if you're gonna open a casino, you gotta have the biggest Hooters in town. You know what I'm saying?
I suppose.
I mean, I would think that's the way. But it was not. It was not them. It was, I think, Sunset Station had the biggest Hooters at the time, or Green Valley, something like this. One of the station casinos.
So
I think
it was in
that.
Vegas had a bigger.
So somewhere in Vegas had a bigger. So if you're coming to Vegas and you wanted to see the biggest Hooters, you had to go to the other casino. Or this one did not have. Anyways, a little play on words. You know, it's interesting because that's what Craps is all about.
Customer service. Goes to customer service, right?
Craps is innuendo central, dude. You ever seen what the Craps is? You're a lot of innuendo. I'm just saying.
Nothing but innuendos on the Craps table.
But I'm talking about the restaurant, dude, and those fabulous chicken wings. Anyways.
Good curly fries too with cheese.
So before after the San Remo, it became Hooters, and then it became San Remo. Oh yeah, the fries are good there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. Does anybody go there for the food? Maybe.
No.
We found the one guy. Everybody,
no.
coupon. Okay, so so at the San Remo, they had these one group of dealers and a supervisor that just sucked to no end. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, dude, they were so brutal. I would always belly up and see. I never remembered because they all looked alike to me, but I would set up at my, I would come there because I love playing paper keno. Strangely enough, that was a really Pai Gow was one of my Pai Gow destinations. And I would hang out. I would see, are these dealers about customer service? Is the supervisor going to give me a hard time? And then ultimately, I would wait and I would buy in. Most casinos, I just buy in right away. I'm willing to take the risk, throw my towel into the game. It's kind of hit or miss sometimes. There's really a lack of good crap dealers in this town.
Yeah.
Like on a whole nother level, dude. I have a lot of experiences that. Okay, so as far as being a social game, so what is your, what do you think is your best? Do you have like a moment where you felt like, okay, this is the most social game I've ever experienced?
Well, when a craps table is loud and people not at the craps game come over and there's like, what's going on here? It's like, I don't even know this game. And they'll just start asking questions and you can just sit there and explain the game to just what other random person comes. And when the craps table is loud, everyone starts coming over. Everyone wants to buy. So one of my best times was at Palace Station. I was literally 2 people at the table maybe. And I went on a roll and all of a sudden the table was completely full.
Yeah.
There was 6 spots per side, so like nobody could get a spot, and there's people still trying to get up on the table as the roll's going on. So that's the time when it's like, and then everyone's rooting for each other. So,
everyone's excited.
Everyone's excited.
They're high-fiving. Everyone's tossing money. People are tossing you money. You don't even know who's tossing you money. It's a very social game. All right, ready? I'm gonna get to the number 2 reason.
Wait, I got a perfect one.
You got a good one?
Believe it or not, my favorite moment wasn't when I was winning. It was my favorite moment was when Alex was getting whacked. And then everyone was cheering.
You're talking smack.
Look. I was paying for the shooter who was whacking him. Okay, he was out of money, shooting from the don'ts, and I kept paying for him to shoot.
Alex calls me. He's like,
paying for him to
Dennis
shoot.
needs to calm down. Dennis needs to calm down.
Paying for him to shoot from the don'ts.
But if you've ever been out with Alex takes the groups out to gamble all the time, and he makes it very social. He gets everybody involved.
Hey, you can hear his laugh from across the whole casino. So
whole Costco, dude. Man, people come from miles away. They're like, they hear Alex's laugh and they go, huh? What's going on? Where? What? Anyways, all right. Yes, I have so many stories of the social part. Like I told you, those 2 truckers met on a game. It was a locals place, obviously, and they bellied up to each other quite literally. And bellied up next to each other, and
never
it was
bellied apart.
And it was just so. And then like 6 months later, I saw them again, and they were like, "Yeah, we got married. And we started hanging out.
Wow.
We just long hauling, and great, fantastic. I mean, I've seen lots of interactions. Of course, I've worked on the Strip, and you see people, they'll start playing, and next thing they mosey onto other tables, and then Bruce Willis shows up one day, and I've shared that story. I'll share this social story. Are you ready?
Not heard this one. Let's go.
You have heard this one?
I have not heard this one.
So Rio, I'm dealing at the Rio many years ago, and there was a Club Rio. It was one of the top 5 clubs at the time, so it attracted its fair share of celebrities. By the way, this is the Rio in all of its grandeur, back when real money.
2000s?
It's kind of run down right now. Even
bad.
the rooms are a bit depressing, I gotta say. But
it's not good to be in there.
It's due for an overhaul. But back in the day, Marnell owned it, which is quite literally, he was a fantastic operator, probably the most popular operator known to deal. If you were to look back on the dealers that worked in the day, that was like literally the #1 casino. But anyways, so Bruce Willis comes up to the table, and he used to have I don't know what it was, but he must have had a beer in his pocket, and it was kind of wet or whatever. But he pulls out money. He was known to play blackjack. He wasn't really a dice player. And this is at about 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock. It's pretty late in the morning, and he pulls out some money. And by the way, all my interactions with Bruce was very positive. He was very nice, very laid back. I never had any issues with him. So, I've heard different things, but always with me, he was fantastic. All right, so he doesn't pull out a whole lot of money. He's at the end of the table. I'm on second base. He's down the center at the end of the table, and he throws some money in, and he says, David, he's like, just work my money, around the game. He really doesn't know how to play.
Okay.
I set him up place bets. I bring his cash in. It's not a lot. It's a couple $100, and I set him up some place bets. There's that. On the other end of the table, there's this giant gentleman, okay, really big guy, and he's in the process of coloring up. So he has a woman next to him who's shooting quite the hand, right? And he has just a stack of yellow chips in front of him, $1,000 checks. He's probably have $25,000, $30,000 in front of him, and then some color. And this woman's really now. This woman was a frequent occupier of one of the stools at the long bar by VIP, which was a well-known. You could pay her $1,000 to go up the elevator. That's all I'm saying. Okay?
She might have been working.
She was definitely working. She was not there for free. Because if you saw her and you know what I mean, you're like,
On a daily basis.
So this woman,
5 days a week.
But by the way, this woman was very well known to the craps bit because she really actually loved to play craps, and anytime she had a George. Don't they call them Georges? Georges?
Yeah.
She would bring into the craps table.
Georgia
she would shoot a hand. And then, of course, he would share some of those winnings with her, hopefully, right? So she gets done shooting. The guy wins a bunch of money and goes to give her a few yellows. She takes the yellows. And he's trying to get her off the table, but she's having none of it, dude. She wants to play dice, man. She's in the middle of a hot hand. She wants to play. So she's on third base down the center. I got Bruce Willis next to me. Now, Bruce is wearing a cap. And, he's thin and but he's got a little bit of a beard on him, and no one knows that it's Bruce, dude. No one knows it's Bruce, and no one's coming over for autographs. No one's saying anything. And by the way, that was a good thing about Vegas. Back in the day, no one really bothered people who were celebrities. But Bruce is big right now. Bruce, this is big. This is in the late 90s. This is Bruce's
as big
as
on
Bruce top
was.
of the world. No one recognizes him. It was kind of stunning. He had his hat down over his head a little bit, and he was leaning into the table. So this woman starts shooting the game, and Bruce is just muttering something to me, and she's like, and then he says something about the woman, and she says, honey, you can't afford me. she's like, my play is too big for you. Now Bruce, by the way, I don't want to go into what the details are, but he was a six-figure. He would play quite a bit. He had quite the marker.
Okay.
He could play quite a bit of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And he was known to drop money on blackjack. And for him, that was nothing, dude.
Yeah.
This guy, $20,000 in the rack. This girl's got 2 yellow chips, and she's shouting onto the table that Bruce just can't afford her action. Yeah. You don't want any of this, Bruce. This is way too much for you. You know what I mean? And she's egging him on the whole way, and he's laughing it off. He's like, dude, do you think she'll figure it out? And I'm like, absolutely not. She has absolutely no clue. Absolute tunnel vision. But Bruce made a friend right there. You see what I'm saying? See how that circle comes around, Dennis? You see that? That's how you make friends on a crap table. But yeah, that's my Bruce Willis story, and I'm sticking to it. Hi, Bruce. Bruce used to come out a few times, and he would just set his money down, play a little bit. He was only there for like 20 minutes. She never had a sink. She actually shot a really nice hand.
Did Bruce ever shoot?
Really quickly.
I don't remember if Bruce shot, no.
Really quickly.
Yeah.
We got another super chat. It's been here for a bit, but Gus gave us $5.
Hi, Gus.
David.
Yes, sir.
have you put on the chaps yet?
Oh my God, I got assless chaps. By the way, they're the rawhide assless chaps. Those things last forever, dude. Those are gonna chafe a little bit. My feeling is this is someone who's actually sat in a horse, not in the horse, but on the horse, because you need, you know what I mean? I know. You have the chaps sort of going on the side.
He said, if not, I'll put them on when I come out next month.
Oh God.
Wow.
Maybe I'll put them on just for you, sir. Well, they're fantastic. By the way, Alex just got them out for me. I saw them in the back, the rawhide. Those are some really high-end assless chaps. Like, holy crap, those are some nice. Huh? You must be a cowboy, sir. Are you a cowboy? Were you in the band YMCA? Wasn't that the name of the band? YMCA with the assless chaps. Okay. You ready? All right, let's go on. Let's go past the societal one. One of these days I can do a story just on the hoop and ha on a craps game. Man, do I have some stories, dude. Oh God, I've got some. Okay, moving on. Ready? Can I move on?
Yep.
All right. So the next one is, and I have this genius slideshow here. I shared it with Dennis, but the graphics,
pretty beautiful.
The graphics might take a while to load. These are going to be a graphic intensive. His computer might not be able to handle the graphics, so I can understand why he's not sharing it with everybody.
A lot of animation.
A lot of stuff going on, dude. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so the other thing, believe it or not, craps is easy entry. It's much easier than most people think. So I was part of a study that looked at how to create engagement, just in general, in a casino floor. And interestingly, a lot of people are very intimidated by a craps table because it's, most of the time it's 3 guys or sometimes a woman now, but it used to be like 3 guys and a supervisor. And the supervisor is like, back in the days, old Italian guy giving you the brow down. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The super brow down.
This is your slideshow?
That's the, there it is.
Wow, look at that
Bam!
beauty.
Did you see that?
So beautiful.
See what I'm saying about the graphics? Dude, I spent real time on that, dude. I spent real time. Okay, so easy entry. It's a lot easier than you just got to walk up to the table, and you want to find a dealer who's not shaking their head like Dennis and rolling your eyes at you every minute. Although you're going to be envious of how much he's won at Keno, though. That is going to be a really envious thing. You're going to
podcast over.
Fade to black.
It's amazing because he's so excited. He plays Keno with me and he gets so excited. He does. He can't help it. Okay.
It's fun to win.
So easy entry. You don't have to come in a stack of red. When you come in at a blackjack table, if you come in with just like $20,
you're done.
Yeah, it's not a lot to do, but you can actually do that on a dice game, especially a local place. If they have $5 table, you happen to be near Jerry's Nugget.
Ellis Island.
You can, Ellis Island. There you go. Yeah. You can get a beer and a crap. $20
is all you need.
$20 is all you need. And it's really easy just to sort of buy in, make it better too, be in action on the roll. It doesn't require a lot to be sort of in the mix of things. Be among 7 other people on one side or 16, 15 people on it, you know what I mean, other people. It's really easy to step up. What do you think?
People are intimidated, though. They see all those numbers on the bench, like, I don't even know where to start.
It's very intimidating. I mean, you got to ask questions, of course, but that's why we exist.
Yep.
And YouTube. I mean, I'm amazed. Just, by the way, just 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever it was, what is it, 4 years ago when we started this channel? How long have we been doing this?
Long time.
Anyways, longer than,
before Dennis?
Before nah, Dennis is 5. No, before we started, only thing I ever did on YouTube was like how-to videos. And I can't do a lot. So I would look up the silly stuff. My dishwasher broke. I was trying to figure out why it broke. I still had to hire somebody. I didn't know that YouTube really is, well, there you go, educational platform. But I had no idea it was to the extent it is now. And it's amazing how much YouTube has helped and created. I think craps is a much bigger ecosystem than it used to be.
Oh, ridiculously big.
No, I think it's brought in a lot of fans. And once you actually come, and play. Roulette, people either gravitate towards roulette or craps. You know what I mean? Is what I find. Even dealers either excited about dealing craps or excited about roulette.
Yep.
They offer this different things, different people. Blackjack, a bit monotonous.
same thing. It's nonstop. So
it's
to 21. All right.
Yeah, there's not a lot to think. There's not a lot of strategies. It is what it is. Basic
roulette and craps definitely the more social games as far as dealing. That's for sure.
Yeah, no,
for sure.
And engaging with the customer, and sort of having a way. Yeah, 100%. So it's a lot easier to enter than most people think. And I think if you just start with some basic videos, some how-to videos, and get started, it's that much easier. You don't need a whole lot of money. You just walk up to the table, say hello. Remember, the dealers are there to help you. Okay, you're not there to help them. Okay, the reason why they have a job is because you're literally at the casino willing to play. And if there's any takeaway from that, just walk on, do something else. Okay, ready? All right, here's where I'm going to go, and I think this is going to excite most of the people that we have. Believe it or not, this is what's kept me interested for all these years. You want to share this superb slide? Watch this.
Superb.
I'm going in deep on the graphics, dude. Deep. Okay, lots of levels.
This is deep.
This is deep. This is about as deep as I get.
No steps for levels or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I could have done like a little. But does anybody really need the graphics? That's us in the corner. That's all they need. So interestingly, this game, I am still learning about this game even now. Not so much, the bets. I understand the bets. I'm pretty good at the bets. I'm pretty good paying the bets and working them out. But the way people play, the context, like how people play, why people play, what the mentality is, the hedging systems, the reference points. Some people, by the way, YouTube, there's a lot of people that have come up with stuff. They've just sort of made it up out of thin air, and they have come to make that a thing. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, the filament underneath the layouts, that was never a thing.
No.
The casinos never had anything under the layouts but other layouts, newspaper. They didn't go to a lot of trouble worrying about the bounce. I know that's one of the things people talk about now, bouncy tables, hard tables, not bouncy, this kind of thing. But when I broke in, there wasn't a lot of consideration there. It was all wool layouts on a board. And as the wool got worn, the dice lost their friction. People would look for these tables, by the way, with the worn wool runway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it would literally that friction. So it would turn the dice though. So casinos would tend to once the hair. I say these were like hairy layouts. I don't know how else to explain it, but once that got worn down a little bit, it would turn the dice real easy. It was really hard to push the dice, but if you were a setter and you can get them to the end, it also helped the dice stick because the dice didn't, it wasn't all that slick. It didn't have that last slickness. Yeah, so different things for different people. Now, of course, there's microfiber. Things have changed. The technology has changed. The way people interact with the table has changed. But it's been so interesting, even to this day. It's fantastic. I've had so many new players that have come and taught me quite a bit. Even listen, some of the systems. We had a party here not too long ago, and man, some of these systems, holy crap, dude.
It was quite the dealing experience. That's for sure.
They worked your ass over. No, I can, and what's funny is I was watching John at Pro Craps talking about. He's got some, they come up with systems and dealers will roll their eyes and talk smack, So that's not a thing that I favor, obviously. But I do wonder sometimes on the logic, right? But hey, ultimately, that we teach our students, there's no win in having this debate. The bets are the bets. However someone wants to work their money, that's how they want to work their money. Whether we think it's stupid, not stupid, it's not up to you to judge. Many dealers get tunnel vision, and so they try to, put this into their own mindset. It's not your mindset, it's the player. The player gets to do it. It's their money. They get to do whatever the hell they want. Yep. These are the rules of the game, and as long as they adhere to those rules, they should have fun just doing whatever they want. Now, if we think they're idiots, we'll talk about that later, but call our mother.
Talk smack to them during the game.
Yeah, you don't need to talk smack during the game.
They might not know about it.
They might not. There's lots of things dealers
do
to talk smack, by the way. They have this little hidden code depending upon what crew you have. That's actually a thing. No, 100%. All right. Well, you ready? Okay, we got lots of levels. So now we're going to go into really the why craps. I'm going to get to the dice with David. This is literally a part of my class. And what I find is that most cases it's more about mentality. Now, this is not a deep probative lesson on what the vig on the game is and what the edge on the casino is, because the edge is the edge.
It's all gambling.
If you're playing the field, go look at the table and say if the field says double triple, that's the field you want to play. If it says double double, maybe less opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's all relative. I find that focusing on all these narrow margins, it takes away from the opportunity. And there's only 2 opportunities I've ever seen. I've only seen 2 ways people win large. And I've done it myself. I actually managed to cash out of a crap game many years ago at the Grand Casino, $48,125. I watched another man buy in for $500, cashed out $200,000. I know another guy that recently, not too far ago, played Triple Lux, cashed out $60,000 on a few $1,000s bought in. We had a lady play squeeze play the other day, $1,000, won $11,500.
Wow.
Okay, so we're gonna go over that. We're gonna cover all these things. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna do is a little bit of the disclaimers. These are the disclaimers. If you're belling up to a crap table, think about playing craps. You gotta have these are the 2. You ready for my next slide, buddy?
Yeah, but before you go to the next slide.
Yes.
We got a couple of super chats.
Oh, thank you very much.
Super chats.
Let me see where did it go. Hey, Christopher Bird Trucking.
Christopher Bird. He's great.
Gave us $2.
So is he the trucker?
Dude, I gotta bring Christopher. You gotta come on the show, man. I'm gonna take a day off. It's Christopher.
$2.
$2. Thank you, sir.
Easier entry craps or chapless chaps?
Oh God, this is
what's easier to get? I mean, you haven't got into the chapless yet, so
I'm guessing the assless chaps are probably not all that hard. Now, if there was an ass to it, that might take a minute to wiggle in, dude. But the fact that there's no ass, I'm halfway there.
You're easy,
dude.
yeah.
I don't even have hips. You know what I'm saying? I have you know what I mean? I think they've all gone to my ass. So that fact that there's no ass makes it easy for me. I understand.
Anyways.
All hip.
We got a member for 2 months chat. Says, craps is my game that I enjoy. And then this is Mimo.
Very good. Yep. I hope you guys really take some context to this. Anyways. All right. Ready? All right. Next slide is... We gotta see. They gotta see the words, dude.
Well, I actually gotta reshape it because you made this text a little bit bigger than the other one.
Oh, really? You gotta make it smaller.
I gotta make it smaller.
I see you in there, buddy. So here's the thing. The only way to play dice is quite literally you gotta have the money to lose and the mentality to win. Mm-hmm. You can't come with any other. If slow play and grinding games, those are opportunities in themselves. If you're waiting for someone to go to the bathroom or you're in line at the buffet and you're looking to grind time, there's a lot of ways, there's a lot of things you can do on a crap table to grind time, but you won't win money. Mm-hmm. If you say same bet on the same number more than twice, you have lost opportunity on the table, right? If you have a pass line bet and you keep collecting your winnings after shooting the same point over and over and over again, you are grinding time. You're doing nothing else. You will never win. You will win, but you'll never get ahead of the curve of losing and winning and losing and winning. You have to have money to lose. When you walk up to a crap table, it has to be a money that you're willing to invest in this game and play it out and create as much opportunity as fast as you can. There's 2 things that should happen on a dice game. This is what I believe. Now, I'm only talking about the win. I'm not talking about grinding time or hanging out with some friends and you want to slow play $100 or $200. I'm talking about creating a win. You got to lose it or win big. You got to walk away the table, a bigger winner in a short period of time. That doesn't mean you have to stay, by the way. You can set different benchmarks for yourself, but you got to be prepared to, this is the money, this is the strategy, and we'll get to that. You got to have the right mentality. Mm-hmm. And for many people, and those of you who have been playing a lot of dice, it's strange because I have this same conversation over and over again. You come up to the table, someone is a hot roll, and a half hour later, you're up $1,000, and even though you're excited about winning, you realize you didn't win enough. Mm-hmm. You didn't take enough off the table because you didn't. And those are the times when you have to take more off the table to make up for all the times you lose. Years and years ago, I was working at the Santa Fe before it was stationed, when Sue Loudon owned the place. I used to have this old guy come in every single day. He bought it for $500 a day. He was retired. And he played a come bet. He played a progressive come bet system with place bet. He'd start with place bets across at the minimum 32 across, right? He would have a come bet come, and then he would use the place bets to pay for his come bet. So it was a bit of a grind, but he pressed a little bit, and he would be there all day long on this $500 bankroll because you can play that kind of system till the cows come in.
All day long.
You know what I mean? And so he would be there every now for a 30-minute roll. He'd be up $300 or $400, but he can never get ahead of this curve of all these buy-ins. And And he was one of the first people that came to me, and he's like, holy crap, I just can't. Every time I win, it's like I win so little. It doesn't seem, why am I playing this game? Mm-hmm. You have to create opportunity for yourself. You have to have the right mentality to win on the game. It's as simple as that. And I know people see the bets getting fat, and next thing you know, there's a green or there's a black, and you're like, oh my God, that would look so nice in the rack. But yeah, that's all it does. It looks nice in the rack. The bet doesn't pay you once it's in the rack. Mm-hmm. It's just decor. You know what I mean? And decor doesn't pay bills. Okay. Hey, this adrenaline, that's not supposed to be there. Skip that one, will you? It's not about adrenaline. Can you imagine that? Just get addicted to the adrenaline. That's number 2. No.
Which is I personally enjoy, but I'm not.
Really? Nah. Yeah, that was Alex's dad. No, skip that. Okay. You ready? I'm gonna kind of get over this. So we got the money to lose. If you don't have the money to lose, seek help elsewhere. Okay. Mm-hmm. Play Keno.
Yeah, that's a longer grind.
That's a longer grind. Dennis, for those of you who are watching this or seeing this after the fact, you should know that is the look of a winner, of a Keno winner right there. That's what that is.
There's
that?
the smile.
Oh my God, there it is.
There it is.
Well, here's the thing. I don't enjoy playing Keno by myself. Like,
with other
by
people.
Myself, it sounds really, really boring. But
okay,
I'm willing to play with
listen
David.
here, hater. Okay, I play it by myself.
I enjoy Kenos as well.
Nah, I do. Okay, ready? Here you go. Okay, you ready? I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it now for all of you don't players. Yeah, you can't love the don'ts, man. I've honestly never seen a successful don't system. The only don't system, here's success, right? I used to have a guy buy in for, $100,000, betting $5,000 on the DC. And guess what? He would be up $100,000. That's nothing. I've never seen someone go from $500,000 to $200,000 on a don'ts. It just doesn't happen. The problem is it's a grind. You got to stay with the flat bet, because the minute you start taking lays, you start taking reverse odds, you give away the odds, right? Because you got to bet more to win less. So other than that flat bet, and here's what happens. You spend hours building up this, short stack, right? Grinding out these flat bet wins. When I say flat bet, I mean even money wins on the don't pass. And then someone walks up and rolls 5 7s in a row, and a couple 11s, and then a few points. And it's not even a big hand. It's kind of a small hand because it's all naturals on the come out. And then you're back to where you started. It happens a lot.
Yeah, your 2-hour wins are gone in 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes, that's exactly right. And he's a dealer. See, I'm telling you, this is every dealer knows this, and this is the thing. I've never seen hedge systems work.
Nope.
I've seen hedge systems grind out some wins. I've seen you guys take away $100, $200, which is great. But your lifetime is not going to be. My lifetime on a crap table is I'm a winner because of one roll. Not a lot of rolls. One roll that I was able to optimize. And we have changed a few people's mentality and gotten them to that same place. Mm-hmm. One roll is all it takes to get ahead. And you can still have fun. I'm going to get to how it works, or how I think it works, and then you guys can judge. But as far as the don'ts, there's a lot of ways. If you want to follow the math, just stick that don't bet on there. Keep it on the don't pass. Don't take a lay. Don't go behind the numbers. You can't chase or martingale the don'ts because it'll eat you alive. It's not a working thing. All right. What else? What happened? I heard something. A noise. Huh?
Yeah, we have some super chats, but you interrupted yourself, so I guess
I interrupted myself. That happens all the time, dude. All the time.
So we have
thoughts.
We have Derek Silver, who's been a member for 19 months.
Who?
Derek?
Derek who?
Who's that guy?
Who is that guy?
Says you might get Jasmine, David, if my 8s game parlay wins this weekend, because I'm coming to Vegas to collect my 7,000.
Oh, yeah, that's
right. Really? Well, good, because
$7,000
Jasmine's
parlay.
Open again, damn it.
And then Christopher Bird gave us $2. Said
that guy's loaded, man.
Dennis is now known as the Keno Prince.
Yeah, the Keno Prince. We'll call him KP.
KP.
You remember KP Duty for all of you bets? There you go. Here's the guy.
Did you just dated yourself?
Yeah,
right
I
there?
did.
I think you just dated yourself.
Once again.
I dated myself. What's new? I mean, I think just being here dates me a little bit. You know what I mean? All right. Don't love the don'ts. It's not a thing. You guys can talk about it all you want, and I love that. And And I'm not taking away from any of the strategies out there. I really want to make that clear because I know there's a big community. I love it. I love them all. I watch almost everybody. Mm-hmm. There's a few of you out there, man. You got to work on your sound. But we have to work on our sound too. But apart from that, I love that you're adding to. I love that you love craps. I love that you're offering your own take on it. It's all a win. It's a win for Vegas. It's a win for people everywhere that want to learn the game. For many years, Vegas thought we were losing people. They were dying off. All those vets in World War II people, they were just dying off. And, who is going to replace all those people to play craps? Well,
everyone else.
YouTube, all you guys. So it's really fantastic. So, and when I see your channels ticking up, it's fantastic. I remember when can I segue real quick? Dennis wants me to stay on topic, but I'm going to get back. We used to look for 80 views. That was the goal.
Wow.
When we first started.
Now you see 80 views after what? 20 minutes?
No, so we have our roulette videos get 14, 15 grand the first couple hours, something like this. And I'm always stunned. I really am, because I remember Timmy going, well, until we got 100 views in the first day, we're kind of like just sitting idle. 100 views, dude. All right. Anyways, don't love the don'ts. Okay. All right. Ready? Next up. Okay. This is an interesting conversation I have with people a lot. It's the long game, short game. So the casino owns the long game of every game. Okay. The longer your ass sits in the chair, for the most part. Now, there's the curve on Blackjack. You can sit your ass in the chair for 100 hours and try to get ahead of the casino. Good luck with that one. But eventually, the casino is not looking to take away all of your money. They're looking to take away a little piece of your money as you go. They want you to have fun. Mm-hmm. They want you to win a little, lose a little, stay a little, sleep a little, spend a little. You know what I mean? They
keep you in their property. That's their goal.
That's it. They would just want to keep you on site and available, right? And but they own the long game. You own the short game. So you can own the short game, but you have to be able to seize the opportunity. It's the short game that plays well to you. Now, an hour and 40-minute roll is a nice short game.
Very nice.
We would love to hit one of those again. But you should know that that's a thing. So if you're on the game and you're playing the same way, and over the time in history, and I know there's a lot of people out there who have played dice for a very long time, and you guys are in the hole, and you're looking for a way out, I'm going to show you there actually is a way out of the dice table. There really is. And I've seen it enough times. I know it's a thing. Every shift I've ever worked at a casino, there's always a hand, except for the times when I was at the IP back in the day and the table was literally dead the whole day. And I still had to pay $5 to count a dead box. You had to pay the cage.
What?
So you know how you guys have a toke box? So the crap table would have a toke box. We had to hand it into the cage, and even if it was empty, we had to pay for her to count it. And
$5 per person?
Per person.
At the crew?
$5 per person. $20 for the can.
That's
because she had paperwork to do, dude. A lot of paperwork. She gave us a receipt slip for the damn can. It was like $200. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is even before taxes were a thing. Oh my God. Anyways, so apart from that, every game I've ever worked, there's even I bet you every table you've worked, you've watched a hand in the span of an 8-hour shift.
Oh, it's been an 8-hour shift, definitely. Yeah, it might be only one hand.
Might be only one hand, or a couple short hands, or a hand where somebody throws 5 fives.
Yeah.
Do you know that you can have a 5 up to purple in 4 rolls or less? Right, a 5 on a $25 game. 25. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show it to you. Nice. 25 to 60 on the first hit. Okay, pays 84. We're going to 125 on the second roll.
Well, you might want to explain it when you have the visuals.
The visuals?
Yeah, because it's not.
Anyways,
math is hard for people.
So if you didn't get paid on $25, if you played a $25 here in Vegas and you didn't get paid $700 on that fifth 5, you lost. You didn't take advantage of the roll.
Instead, I collected $175 on mine.
And see, but a lot of people go away
happy.
Still
a nice collection.
That's a nice collection. That's true. Okay, but all right, ready?
Well, before we go to the next one, I got a couple of super chats.
Fantastic. Yeah, we love you guys. Thank you so much. Yep.
Dirty Lurker.
Dirty Lurker
gave us $19.99. He says, just slam the field bet and pray.
You know what?
Field bet's a great bet.
Not the worst system if you're willing to parlay. Bet. If you're willing to leave the money in the field. Our number 1 30-roll challenge? Field bet parlay. That's all it is. It's a short game. I play Blackjack. The only way I used to play Blackjack is 7 wins. I would go for, how many of you have sat on a Blackjack table and you have bet, $5? I start at $5. Mm-hmm. I want to win 7 hands in a row. I parlay everything to the 7th hand. Damn. I win $640 if I do that. $640. Now, if you'd have just collected your nickel every time, you'd win $35.
No, thank you.
On the same 7. Even if you pressed it a little, you'd walk with some money. But you see, you own the short game. You can own the short game. You just got to have some kahunas.
Yeah, next one is Black Sheep, $5.
What's it called?
Black Chief?
Black Sheep? Oh, Black Sheep.
Says, I'll be there in November with my overworked system again, y'all.
All right, very good. Yes.
And then our last super chat is $4.99 by, I think it's, it's not spelled Oscar, but I'm going to say Oscar. Craps is so confusing for no damn reason. That's why I play Keno and I'm broke.
Yeah, that's true.
And then before we transition, there was an interesting question. Said, David, you say lay the 6 and 8 was a great system, and now you say it's a bad system. Which one is true?
Okay, ready? Yeah, that's actually good. I wasn't going to bring that up, but since we have some very intelligent geniuses out there, that's true. So I need to add a little bit of context to that story. I used to have a guy. He would buy in $10,000 a day, 3 days in a row, 30 grand total. And his goal was to be plus 10,000 by the time he left. And here's the bets that he played. Okay, it's gonna be a little complex, so you gotta know a little bit about dice. So he would lay $600 behind the 6, $600 behind the 8, and he would only do that on the come out roll. You follow? Mm-hmm. If a 7 rolls, he wins 1,000 minus the $50 vig. Yep. Right? Because he plays $25 each. He wins $500 each. If 11 rolls, he doesn't lose.
Nope.
If a 2-3, not 12, he doesn't care. Yeah. And if a point comes out, the one that whacks him for half, he can only lose $600. Mm-hmm. Is the 6 or the 8. Okay, and he would only play that on the come out roll, and consistently he would leave with plus 10,000. It was the best, and he would. And here's the logic, right? The logic is, and this is sort of the reverse of the way people think. So people think, hey, I'm going to lay the 4 or the 10 because that's the hardest number. Only 3 ways to hit a 4, 3 ways to hit a 7, or a 10, and 6 ways to hit a 7. So 2-1 in your favor that you will win. But guess what? You give that up because you bet 2 to win 1. Mm-hmm. You see? So your advantage is 0, other than now your advantage is less because you also have to pay a vig on your win of 5%. You follow? We have one of our dealers here. I won't mention his name. May or may not be Santos. Don't know. I heard that dream. And by the way, I know. We love you, Santos. Can't wait to come back, brother. You know, he'll lay the 4 and the 10. So what he does is he'll hedge. He'll lays the 4 and 10, and then he bets some type of across, and the 4 and 10 covers his across money. And I have a system out there. We all do. They're all the same. And he will tell you it has not gone well for him. No. Because one person hits that 4 where he's bet twice as much, and now he's got to win. Those bets in front can't pay out enough because those are single bets, right?
He needs like 5 hits just to pay for 1,
that's
basically.
It. So let's say he has a $100 no 4 to cover a $54 across. Those bets are only paying $14. They're not making up for a $150 lay. No. You know what I mean? Or a $100 lay. You follow? So there's no way out. The return from that is, You know what I'm saying? It's a losing win. So here's what so the reverse psychology, or sort of the reverse, is you go for the numbers that give you at least the closest to true, the closest lay. So only 6 wins 5, right? You gotta lay 6 to win 5 on the 6 and 8. That's the better lay. The better lay is the 6 and the 8. God, this game has. I mean, if someone tunes in after the fact, doesn't know anything about craps, they would think we were really going off the rails. But the better play is the 6 and the 8, because you need less money to get that back based on the amount that you lose, right? Because if you wanted to cover, let's say 54 across, or let's say 52 across, you would only have to lay, let's say $60, right? Because you would win 50, which is close enough. You'd be out a few money. That's not only 60, not 100 to win back. You feel me?
I take that every time. Save $40.
Save $40. I mean that's right. So I mean By the way, this guy was so successful at this system. On the surface, it looks a little bit weird, but we played it and we had some luck. I mean, he always got out. I think one time he might have gotten whacked, but not the whole 30,000. I think he got like 2 days out, and then he ended out. But he did so well. I one time had a ship boss come up to me to count down the table, and he saw this guy playing on third base with me, and he put the table down 10,000. Just tentatively, because they use these numbers to influence other betting action in the casino.
Oh yeah.
So if they know a guy's going to come in, and in this case they knew he was going to whack him for 10 grand, then maybe not they'll support other types of bet. But this guy was so successful. That's all he did: lay the 6 and 8 for 600, and on the come out roll. And by the way, he was with everybody else. He wants the 7 too. Everybody on the pass sign. He's basically a right way player on the don'ts.
Yep.
Right? Because he's just looking for the 7, and then he comes down. and you can only lose half its bet. On the surface, it looks genius, bro.
Well, I do the same thing. I like to place the 4 and 10 on the come out and then lay the 6 and 8 for 30 each. So it's completely covered. It costs me $2 if it hits.
By the way, that's genius.
$2.
I love that. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta. So you okay? We gotta get back to that. That's actually pretty good.
We can
so
talk
you lay
about
the
that.
6 and 8, and then
And
you
then
bet the 4 and 10.
I bet the 4 and 10. So if
On the
7
come
comes
out
out, I just lose my $2.
And on the 4 and
Costs
10, you're
$2.
getting double.
Exactly.
You pay. At what level do you play the 4 and 10?
I'll start at 20 or 25.
Oh, 20?
If it's $25
and
table,
you have
I
a
can be
$24
$25.
each on the 6 and 8. So you're throwing $50.
Or no,
to
I
cover.
usually 30 on the 6 and 8, just because
30,
it's easier.
And then
Yeah.
you get a little.
So I get a
they
little
only
bit
charge
back
you
if I
$1.
did.
Yeah, 100%. Wow, you heard it here,
Not bad.
buddy. That's the Matt Pip. That'll be the Pipkin strategy. We got to put that out there, buddy. All right,
Work on
ready?
Next slide.
So here's my list. Yeah, this next slide. The last 2 slides are the actual strategies. I'm going to break down 2 very successful strategies that we use here at Casino Quest, and I'm going to talk them out. I'm going to explain to you how they work. It's very simple, especially those of you, if you're new to dice, these will be fairly easy. We're meeting with Crapsy tomorrow. I don't know, sometime this week. So he has a new user interface coming out, some exciting news for us. So we're hoping to evolve that. But okay. And then we'll follow up with the show next week. Can I say it now? I should say it now while everybody's here. We have HR, the queen of casino HR. Yeah. So we have someone coming on our show who's been at the very top of human resources for casinos. And she's going to answer everything. We're going to talk about how you get hired, the benefits, why work at a casino, all that stuff. It's going to be a fantastic show, dude. Yep. Okay. Hi, Jen. Okay, good. Yeah.
Tune in next week.
And we have one of the biggest players on the planet going to be visiting us. Yes, sir.
Whoa.
We do. They're going to be part of our experience. Okay. You ready? I got a list. I got a list of 8 things, and I'm going to go over each one of these things. We're going to break them down. Number 1, this slide is corrupted because I can't. Okay, well there it go. It came out great, fantastic. That's all we need to know.
So pretty.
It really is, man. It's clean. People like it clean.
So
now.
clean.
People like it clean. You know what I mean? Okay, first you got to find the right casino, and by that I mean no stress, no mess, no fuss. So sometimes systems really need the right casino. So you look for a casino that pays like downtown odds, 16 and 31, right? So if you're playing props or you have field, you want to make sure you play at a casino that accommodates that kind of play. Here in Vegas, we have choices, so you can make some choices. Obviously, if you're in an area you don't have a lot of choices, you're kind of stuck. There's that. But here in Vegas, you can find a casino with the right, minimum bet. You want the lowest minimum bet. You heard it here. Having more money on the table means nothing starting out, especially if you're not willing to press it. I could play a $3 game and be a $10 table in one hit. Okay? If starting at $3, if I power press the first time, I'll bypass that $10 player all day long. So it really doesn't matter. You want to create opportunity. You want to start at the lowest possible. So you want the lowest minimums, the highest maximum. And you want to pay attention to odds. So, if, 3, 4, 5, it's not really that relevant in the systems that we have. But, again, if you're playing the Iron Cross, it's kind of silly to play somewhere where double-double. You want to look for double-triple. There's not many of those out there, by the way. They used to have a triple-triple in Reno, and that was a zero. That was the best bet other than odds because there's zero advantage to the casino with triple-triple. So they got rid of that. That was too good a bet, too good. But there are other things to consider when playing. Obviously, is accommodation. So how they let you play the game, whether they do auto buys. So all of my system involve place bets, and place bets on the 4 and 10 become buys at some level. Some casinos, which we love here in Vegas, station casinos especially, they start to buy at $10, and they'll pay you $19 on that $10 bet instead of $18. And they auto buy it. They always pay you the maximum amount that it should, instead of asking you or having you to pay a juice up front. And we love that. We love that when casinos aren't trying to cheat you out of every dollar. They're willing to just say, hey, we're gonna do this for you. Now there's other casinos in town, which by the way, I absolutely hate and I don't revisit. When I find out that you can go to a $50 four and you have to actually tell the dealer to buy it. That seems silly to me. That's not a place to play. Because you know what? I'm going to forget to say bye, and now I'm out $10. You know what I mean?
Cheating you.
Or they're just cheating me out of my money. So go to a place where the casino, accommodates you. But those of you that are close to Biloxi, that's fantastic because I've heard a lot of those casinos, they auto buy the 5 and 9. Right, all the way. Yeah, auto buy. It's a competitive market. They want people to play. I think that's fantastic. Most people don't know you can buy the 5 and 9, but after $20-$30, after $30 really, buying the 5 and 9 makes sense. You get a few extra bucks as you go up, and you get more and more. So buying the 5. Buying the 6 and 8 never works out. It's always the same bet. It literally never works out to infinity. I've tried it. It's not a thing. But, auto buys in the 5 and 9 is fantastic. Then, of course, dealers. Finding the right dealers.
That's my number one probably at the table.
Is having the right dealers.
Actually, no. First is the minimums. Number 2 is the dealers.
I'm always amazed that, it's a frontline position. And craft dealers have had it too easy when it comes to, delivering service. It's a difficult thing. Back in the day, some of these older dealers, it was like dummy up and deal. But now that's not a thing. And I find it very disheartening when I come across a dealer who's very judgmental, who gives me a hard time, who doesn't like to be corrected. Even when I gave this dealer the other day $66 inside, they set me up a 110 and gave me 9 change. And when I went to just clarify that I only wanted 66, he said to me, I gave you your 9 change. And I'm like, well, dude, take me down.
Take me down.
I'm going to walk a winner. Yeah. I'm not going to argue with you, dude. I'm just trying to help you, and I know a lot of people get in that position, and I'll be honest with you, it just makes it rough. Dennis turned it around the other day. He started with a dealer who wasn't as friendly as he could have been, and Dennis and him got along famously towards the end. And
not even just him, the whole table.
Yeah. No, they love Dennis after a minute because, he starts going on about his Keno. He gives Keno tips as he's playing.
No, I just tip. I just tip every single roll.
Yep. That's all it takes.
Regular tips.
You got money for the dealers.
Yeah.
You got money for the dealers on the table. They will be your best friend.
Yeah, that's the thing, by the way. If you start with a bet for the dealers, when I walk up to the table, almost my first bet, I want them to know that I'm capable of tipping. And now I got to win, obviously. But I try to start them off with a bet so that they know, that you're going to tip them. If you're someone who likes to talk about the tipping you're going to do at the end, that's really annoying because
not a thing.
A lot of people do that and they're like, oh yeah, if I win big, we're going to just do so well together. And then they do, and then they're drunk and they forget about you. It's not a thing, I had a guy who he was like, oh my God, if you guys pay me big on a bet, I'm going to take care of you. So he hits, this is when we rolled, I'm on the stick. He rolls 3 12s in a row.
Jeez.
And he parlayed, he had a quarter on the last one, right?
Wow.
And he throws us for the 4th roll. He's still shooting. He's coming out. He throws us $1 for the 12. Look, I'm going to take care of you guys. Here you go. Rolls another 12. Another 12. Of course, the boxman asked me if I want to parlay it. I'm like, yeah, I want to parlay it, dude. You know what I mean? And I hit it again. I was a hero.
Nice.
I was a hero. 900 and something bucks, dude, on that one. But, yeah, don't talk about how great a tipper you are if you're not, if you're betting consistently. And the best bet you can make for dealers is to bet right next to yours. Whatever that is, you just bet with them. Dealers love being in action. They love playing along with you. If you win, they win quite literally. You don't have to make the minimum. I mean, you don't have to make the minimum. It can be lower than the minimum. So if it's a $5 table, you can bet dollars.
Yeah, like every time I'm on the table, if they see a bet that's not the minimum, that's for you guys. It's not mine. It's your bet. Since I'm a place better, I like to put them place bet on the line. So place bet.
That's exactly what I do, and I let it build with dollars, and then 5s, and let them go to town. Yep, 100%. So you got to find the right casino. All right, very next point is you got to have the right strategy. You got to bankroll meet strategy. That's my next thing on the slide. It's my graphic.
There it is.
He's having trouble rendering these things. Okay.
Too much graphics. It's hard and trouble loading up. That's the problem.
Loading is the key because there's a lot of cum on the table, right?
That's the problem.
There's a big area there.
Actually, before you get too far,
Yes.
On the next point, we're at 100 likes.
Holy smoke! Can we give something away? We're gonna give away a chip and a chair. No.
Beautiful.
We're gonna give away one of these beautiful chips designed by our very own Mar. It's the Tiger of the Year 2022. You can't see it too well, and then we're also going to give you a lander from our party. All right, ready? All right, let's. The word is craps, but Matt here is going to tell it when to stop and pick the number.
Let them type in chat, and then you can.
All right, type in the chat craps.
Talk about the next point if you like.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the next point. Dennis, let us know when he needs to yell stop.
Okay.
So the next really big point is if you're walking up to a $25 table with a $100 table, start walking the other way. Unless you're prepared to just parlay in the field, there are very few working strategies. There are very few short money strategies that create a lot of opportunity. There are strategies where your last $50 you can get something started.
It's happened for me.
It has happened. I've done it before.
Went from 44 to like 1,700.
Oh, see? Wow, that's
great.
I
only walked with 9, but I had everything else on the table too.
Really?
So, but it was a nice roll.
That was a nice roll. But you got if you're planning on investing in a table, you're planning on investing in a strategy, you got to have the right bankroll. And if you're wondering why the wins, the casino wins have been off the charts, and
crazy.
It's because high table minimums, lower table limits. Squeezing the customer, which is okay because now we have the squeeze play system to push back. It's the best system. It really is.
So good.
For those of you who everybody's been addicted to playing squeeze play lately, so it really is the best system I've ever done.
Unless you're playing on a $5 table, you don't need squeeze play.
Yeah, $5 table. You just triple lux and go to
just triple
town.
lux.
Yeah, go to town.
$10 table though, squeeze play for the win.
You better tell him to stop.
Yep, whenever you're ready.
All right, Matt, let him have it.
Stop.
Give me a number between 1 and 20.
Let's go 16.
Whoa. 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. Mad Cows, you're the winner.
Really, Mad Cow?
Mad Cows with an S.
Mad Cows.
Cows.
Fantastic. We've been buying a lot of leather, pissing off the cows lately. Hey, if we by some miracle we get to 200 likes, don't we have a new hat? We have a new hat. I'm gonna give it away. It's a nice hat. It's a Lux hat. Oh, a genius hat. Oh my God, that's right. We're gonna give away the genius hat. We're gonna give away the genius hat to one of our geniuses. Okay. It's around here somewhere. Maybe Dennis will go get one so we can show it to you. He's thinking about it. All right, so you got to come with the right bankroll meet strategy is what I say, right?
Yep.
Different strategies call for different types of buy-ins. It's very simple, and different types of tables call for different types of bankroll. You're on a $5 table, you could probably get away with a couple $100. Quite a few working strategies for you. If it's about opportunity, again, I always focus on 32. Whatever your minimum strategy costs, multiply that by 10. Add a few more dollars for a little wiggle room and some cocktails, and boom, you have a working strategy that should last you quite a while. So we played squeeze play. Dennis played squeeze play, $1,300 total buy-in, 8.5 hours.
Yeah, that worked.
At a $15 table, $66 a whack, and he managed to stay and play. Alex and Snapper, hi Snapper. Alex and Snapper used about $2,200, played for almost 6 hours, and they lost like $300-400 after 6 hours. So it's a great system, and we'll talk about why these systems last as long as they do. But you got to be able to last 10 shooters. I talk a lot about buying new shooters, but we're gonna get to that once he pulls up our graphic. Okay, graphic. Oh, here you go. We're gonna give you this hat right here. This is genius.
At 200
hat.
likes. We're not even close to. We're not even close to. We gotta. I mean, the problem is that Alan Toy isn't around with his 30 odds.
Saying
accounts.
open those second accounts.
Yeah, he's got all his accounts. He can just go. Okay, ready? All right.
I gotta move some stuff around.
You gotta move some stuff around. I mean, what do you like? I don't even understand how that. Anyways, he's probably got a Keno, like one of those live casino action things.
So
up there.
addictive. He's so addicted to the
Keno.
I'm just trying so they can see all the numbers because
the
face cam covers your.
Oh really? That's the double tap. No, you got to go to the earlier. I'm still on the earlier slide, dude. Don't show them that ahead of time. They might literally keel over. Okay, ready? Okay, then we go strategy meet table. We sort of talked about that. I kind of gave that away in the right casino, but you got to play the right table. Odds do matter over time,
especially if you're pass line.
Yeah, especially if you're a pass line better, and you're not taking advantage of if 10 times odds should be the standard.
You got to if you're a pass line player.
Yeah. Alex has done really well on that, I have to say. That's the one weakness. If you're a pass line, if you're a repeater only, if like all you do is roll 4, come out on 4, roll 4, and you do that all day, you'll actually win more playing the pass line.
Go to the Gold Coast and play repeaters. That's your table.
Really?
If you're a repeater,
they have the repeater side bets.
Yeah. I saw a guy walk away with he rolled 6 repeater numbers and he repeated the 6 3 times so he hit it 15 times.
Oh, really?
Nobody was pressed up on the numbers though, so they only won on the preters. So.
Dude, I watched someone roll a fire bet, all 6 points, 1,000 to 1, $5 on the fire bet. They rolled for 30 minutes, and no one else is on the table. They have $5 on the line the whole time. Yep. $5 on the line, $5 on a fire bet, no odds, nothing, dude. It was a woman, I talked. Some of you have heard this story. They were imbibing probably a little too much meth at the time. You know what I mean? They let's just say they were very skinny, missing a lot of teeth, living in the weekly across the street. So. Coincidence? I'm not sure, but hey.
All signs point to.
All signs, yes. And they would come in. By the way, they were really nice. I enjoyed interacting with them, I have to tell you. But you could tell that they had some issues, quite a few issues, to be honest. So she comes up to the table. Table is a choppy table, cleared out. She comes up on the other base, second base. I was on third base at the time. She puts $5 on pass line, $5 on fire bet. She rolled for 30 minutes, and she hit all the numbers. And she won $5,000, or she won the line bet too. However many, at least 30 other dollars, 6 points on the line bet. Never played any other bet, had no clue, just shot for the fire bet. So she wins that. By the way, this story gets a little better. The dice are passed to her smaller husband. So her husband was just, anyways. You had to see them. I mean, she weighed 100 pounds, he weighed 85 pounds. They were full size adults, sort of. You know what I mean?
Sort of.
And. They were taller than me, dude. You know what I mean? And I'm a giant. No, I'm just kidding. People come here and they go, "Oh my God, you're so much smaller in person." I'm like, "Thank you very much." If only I was younger in person, I would be even better. But
camera adds 5 inches, right?
Yeah, and 20 years. You know what I mean? 5 inches. That's it. Oh God, what are we talking? Are we talking about weight? Are we talking about? Anyway. So her boyfriend, husband, whatever else. Really, by the way, did I say they were really nice people? They were very fun to interact with, because they were a bit cray cray, and you know how they get they would come up to me and they would be like, David, where's she at? What's she going on? I'm in the middle of a casino. Dude, how the hell am I supposed to know where she's at? what put a little bell on her or something like that you're running around.
Something.
I mean, I'm a crap dealer on a table. I could be like, oh my God, where's she at? What's going on? Anyway, so he shoots. So he's about to shoot. He has $7 on him. This whole time, she hasn't thrown him any money. He's on the other side of the table. He's got $7 to $5 table. He's got to put the $5 on the pass line and $2 on the fire bet. And he literally asked me, he's like, should I get the $3 from her to add to the fire bet? And I'm like, well, dude, she's only up $5,000. $3 might be a big bridge, dude. I don't know. You want to run all the way over there and get the $3? And so I'm being sarcastic, and he's like, yeah, that's right. So he just puts the $2 in. Don't you know it? He rolls the fire bet again, dude. He rolls all 6 points.
$2,000.
Meanwhile, we have people looking. The people that are watching, they don't want to invest because the table was so cold just a minute ago. And these 2 kids are up $7,000. Now, I'm going to just say this once, only because, and I don't, I don't want to seem like I'm a hater. But if you're addicted to anything, getting $7,000 paid to you in one lump sum is probably not the best, not the best idea. Let's just say
maybe 2 days.
They paid some rent. 2 weeks later, they had no rent for a weekly. They were out of rent.
Wow.
They came in, and then I didn't see them after that. But, whew, can you imagine? They went through $7,000. I can only imagine how. I bet they had a lot of fun with that $7,000.
I'm sure some other people had some fun with it, too.
A lot of people had a lot of fun with that money. But anyways, there you go. There's my customer service story. No, that's not. Okay. You ready? How we doing over there, Dennis? Good?
Good.
Wow, you look so busy, buddy. Are you busy? All I see is your hair. Okay, ready? All right. So here's something that David doesn't do a whole lot. Stay focused and on point.
What? No way. There's been no proof of that in the last half hour.
Stay focused and on point. You got to stay with it. You came in the system. You got to play it out. It's the way it goes. It's silly to, change up. I know people talk about choppy tables, and what's going on?
I'm just thumbs upping because I agree.
He liked it.
Oh, you like that
point? He
point?
liked your point.
Oh, you like that point? About staying focused and on point?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always like, dude, focus. I'm like, let's have a meeting. And then I get caught up in 8 things. The next thing you know, the meeting is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But you got to stay focused and on point. It's so silly. Me and my friend, we would go out with these strategies, genius strategies. They weren't so genius, by the way. We'd be in 6 hours playing the strategy up $200 on a bird game, 25-cent table. And then I would just go on tilt. I was like, dude, I'm so bored.
I'm ready to get some money.
I'm ready to like
just go.
Yeah, something. Let's get some roller skates on and just let's just get wild and crazy. And then we would be out of $200 and we go going home because that just never works out well. Maybe it will work out well. I mean,
you had the best intentions, but
no, 100%. So you got to stay focused and on point. The toppy table, the cold table, because just like these two people, that was the point of that whole story is. Everybody left the table because it was cold. It wasn't the table that was cold. The shooters suck. You know what I mean? It just wasn't a good hand. Nobody was rolling. And it's not that the shooters suck. It's a random thing. It's an odds thing. Someone's going to shoot a hand. It might be the most random person you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And just wait for it. Stay focused. Me and Alex were down. We have a few videos back where we were playing craps. I forget. I think we're at the Strat. We were down to $2 and we won all of our money back. Last
triple X.
Doing triple. We went all in. We were playing sort of double tap, the triple Lux, then we were like, so we did go a little bit on tilt, by the way. So we're at the last bit of him money. We're like, screw it, for the content.
Yeah.
Triple Lux.
When you're on your
I
last
think you were there. Were you there?
I was not there that time.
No, not yet.
I had not moved here yet.
Okay. Okay. So the next point is you got to create opportunity quickly. Okay. You got to create opportunity for yourself quickly. Means a couple things. You got to get out of the hand, right?
Squeeze play.
Which is squeeze play. So whatever investment you make, you need to get that investment back and then go. So you just have to you have to work the table. You have to stay there and be for that curve. The curve is 0.7s, couple rolls, 0.7. You know what I mean? You're going to work the curve of the game until eventually someone catches a hand. And you don't need a very big hand. If you have one guy rolls a couple 5s, like I showed you, 5 5s, you can collect over $700 off of 5 5. Actually, $840. You could even leave it at $300 and collect that twice. So there are ways for you to maximize. You don't need a big hand. I didn't get a big hand. That $48,000 came from a relatively short hand, about 20 minutes of just nonstop numbers. And it was 3 numbers, the 4, 5, and 6. The 8, 9, and 10, one of those numbers was still at $5 when I was done.
Wow.
The other ones were at $5,000. They would only let me go to $5,000 on the 6th. And the guy told me he wouldn't let me go to $6,000 on a $5,000 table. I had just opened Harrah's in New Orleans. And before that, I had opened Bella Baton Rouge Players, and he told me, I don't know dice. He said, you don't know dice.
It says 5,000.
It's 5,000 limit, 5,000 place bet. Okay, buddy, I don't know dice. Let's move on. All right, but anyways. All right, so you got to create opportunity, and then you got to, I talked to you about you got to buy shooters. You have to buy a system that lets you play. So understandably, okay, there's a lot of suckage going on the crap table. By that I mean a lot of point number 7 or 0.7. So there's a lot of ways you lose your money very quickly, and that's going to happen quite a bit. And that's what puts the fear of God into most crap players because they get very wary of the 7, and 6 rolls in. Someone goes to blow their nose at the table, or they hear a noise in the background, and then it's give me my bets down or take my bets off, right? And there's a lot of superstition on the game, and now your bets aren't working for you. Your money is in the rack, whatever the case is, and you miss out on, 3 more numbers, which 3 more numbers could have been everything you had times 3. You follow? So there's, but all right. You got to buy new shooters. You got to stay in the game. So I can see that every roll is not going to be a good roll. I will concede that point. Yeah. I know. Not easy point to concede, by the way. All right. So the other one is chips in the rack don't stack. So chips in the rack don't pay you. Unless they're in play, they can't pay you. That's not to say you need all your chips in play, but let's face it. If we went ahead and put $500 just in the field and the bad boy hit, that's one way to double our money quick. In and out. We came to invest. The money's out. That's not a good philosophy. That won't keep you around the table. That might piss off a few spouses here and there. But if it's in the rack, it's not paying you. The number of people that come down on their bets and mitigate their opportunity, take away from their opportunity, take away from the timing, it's always stunning to me when someone says, take me down. And there's a lot of you guys that do take me down or take me off. We're superstitious. I'm superstitious. Did I ever tell you about the guy that collected trolls? He put trolls in the rack, and his trolls were. He would count the shooters. So he had some sort of weird system to determine who was the better shooter and where the roll went. And he would, you remember, I don't know if you remember the troll dolls back in the day. Oh, with the little hair thing? He had a whole collection. Different trolls.
They're big on the bingo circuit, I remember.
Oh, really? Big on bingo circuit. Well, maybe Lauren has a few extra trolls. We could roll those out. But this guy would put the trolls in the rack, and that was his superstition. And I know a lady used to carry a magnet with her all the time. I mean, people have things. They got things going on. All right. The next one is you got to own the roll. You have to seize the opportunity to win. So that's it. And if you ever get a chance to come to Casino Quest, and I could break it down for you, I could show you quite literally the difference between a same better and a presser. So we're going to get to this first type slide. It's called a double tap. It's a system that we teach here. And it's a very simple way. It is not a lot of math to it. I mean, there's a little math to it, but it's a simple way to set up a bet and understand the philosophy of regression, getting your money back as quickly as possible. And you only do that by power pressing, okay? By pressing and then reducing. Okay, you can't follow the normal flow of a crap game and expect to win, expect to obtain that yield, right? Mm-hmm. So here's a basic math problem, right? If you same bet a $6 8, okay, a $6 place bet on 8 7 times, you will win, including the bet, a total of $55. Now you can work this out at home. I can one of these days, if you come here, I can show you the math and show you how it's done. Maybe we can even put it up on YouTube as a short. But you will win $55 total, okay? So it's 49 plus the 6, $55. Mm-hmm. If instead you see 7 of those, same number, not in a row, but in a roll before someone sevens out, which you will. You play craps enough. The other day, Alex was out. He had 14 8s in a roll at Jerry's. 14 8s he rolled in the same roll before he crapped out. But of course, there, $300 table limit, you can't go very far.
Nope. Just collecting on that.
Yeah, you just got
4 or 5 times.
But 7 8s in a roll starting at $6, and you can win, wait for it, $2,008 or $55. Okay?
Take the $2,000, please.
So imagine you lose that $6 10 times in a row, or 20 times in a row, or 30 times in a row, right? Mm-hmm. Or 50 times in a row. 50 times, all you do is put $6 on one of those numbers, okay? And 50 times in a row, you lose it, okay? You never get to 7. But one time you do, you've paid for it, right? Because 50 times 6 is $300, right? $300. You could do it 100 times, 200 times, and still that one time that you do 7 and you play it the way David shows you, that $2,000 will get you out for all the times you lost before. You see? Now, the key is staying in the game long enough to get there, all right? And that's quite literally the difference. And I tell people that, and as much as I respect a lot of the player community out there and a lot of these strategies, but as a dealer, I have seen very few other realities play out. I've seen systems win. I'm not taking away from the strategies that are out there, people grinding $200, $300 wins. I've seen systems win, maybe not consistently, of course, but there's always opportunity on the table. But the swing winners, not the swingers, but the swing winners. The winners.
2 words.
Poor
2
Dennis
words,
put
not
his
one.
head down and rolled his eyes all at the same time. You wonder, one of these days his eyes are going to roll back in his head, and then he's not going to be able to retrieve them, dude. They're going to be lost somewhere in the back of his head. But in my experience on the game, and this is true of every dealer, unless you're a little bit jaded and you want to come out with some other thing, but the truth is that most dealers will see people win all the time. The casino loves it, man. You buy in for $300 and you win $3,000 and you think that's a score, congratulations, that's a score.
For you it is.
For you it is, and you're going to come back, and 6 months later you're going to wonder why the hell, that one time you're going to be chasing that one $3,000 win, when, believe it or not, I'm not chasing any win. I'm out. I'm a lifetime ahead. Luckily, I never got to the point where I lost $48,000. Thank you, Jesus. All right. So I'm going to show you the very first system. It's called Double Tap. And then after Double Tap, I'm going to show you a $15 table, a squeeze play system, the first squeeze play. If you want to see these systems, by the way, they're online. You just look for double tap on Casino Quest or squeeze play on Casino Quest. And if you happen to be a Patreon, I've been much more diligent about putting up. I have the PDFs. I have a new $15 one I'm putting up. $15. We're calling it Ultimate Squeeze Play. So Ultimate Squeeze Play, you only need 2 numbers. Regular Squeeze Play, you need 3 numbers. But first we're gonna do double tap. All right, you ready? We're gonna show them this. Can I use my pointer, or does my pointer matter? No, I can highlight stuff. No,
you can highlight stuff.
Ooh, I can highlight stuff.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Fancy.
This is my ghost. All right, here we go. So here we go. All right, so this is called double tap, and you're pressing 2 numbers at a time. All right, so you have sister numbers in play. 4 and 10 are sister numbers. 5 and 9 are sister numbers. 6 and 8 are sister numbers. All right. The idea is to give us the greatest opportunity possible to get out of the roll. Okay. So here's how it works. Now, normally we want you to start with just $22 inside. So that means a starting bet. You're not going to put anything on the 4 and 10. So if you want to minimize your investment, because again, we're talking about having the right bankroll meet table kind of thing. Okay, this is on a $5 game. When I come up to the game at first, I don't bet the 4s and 10s. I limit my exposure to the table. In this case, it would only cost me $22 per shooter. Worst case scenario. If they go point and then 7 out over and over and over again, I hope to have $220, $250, and I can get 10 shooters around the table. That's it. Now, what I do then is I create tiers of opportunity for myself. So my first tier of opportunity is 2x. 2x. So when I get to twice my bankroll, then I start adding the 4s and 10s. Or if I'm in the middle of a roll and it's paying me, I'll use some of the change, add the 4s and 10s as well. So if the roll starts getting hot, I add the 4s and 10s as quickly as I can. Now, my goal to exit a crap table as a winner in one roll is 10x. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, 10x. Well, it's a lot easier than you think. I've gotten flew by 10x on one shooter many times. And having an exit strategy is important because now, so let's say I'm in $100 just for the sake of the argument, right? I win, someone shoots the hand, because in one hand you might retrieve $1,500, right? Now I've got to have an exit strategy. So the enter strategy is almost as important as the exit strategy, because I have found that once I get that adrenaline going and I feel like the table's hot and the camaraderie's there, now I'm betting more. You know what I mean? Now I'm staying. I want to have that. I want to get that adrenaline. I want to get that whole love affair going again. And next thing you know, I'm only up $400. My whole 10x solution has gone out the window. So come with an exit strategy. Put that money away. Beg for the dealer to color you up. And I hate that tables don't color you up. They wait for you to leave. I know there's a lot of tables, they want you to wait till you're done before they color you up, because they want you to play. If it's in the rack, it's easy for you to just pull the money out and keep playing. But I will really just insist, please, for the love of God, I need my rent money. Give me my rent money. And that's the thing. So 10x is my walking strategy. Okay, so here we go. You ready? Can they see mine? Or it's on your thing. All right, let's highlight the 5, 6, the inside numbers, the 22. No, go down below the bets. The
Starting bet.
The starting bet. Yeah, there you go. All right. So you have $5 on the 5 and 9, $6 on the 6 and 8. Okay. So you see on down below where it says pays 777. So any of those numbers hits, it's going to pay you $7, right? So it doesn't matter what number it hits. But if the 5 or 9 hits, okay, you're going to throw in $3 and you're going to press the 5 and 9. See where it says press 5 and 9 right under that? And you're going to go to $10 each on the 5 and 9. Either one of those hits and you're going to go to nothing. You're going to go back down to 22. You're going to tell the dealer, regress me to 22. And here's the great thing about double tap. If you just hit 2 5s in a row, or you hit a 5 and then a 9, okay, you get all your money back minus $1 at this level. All you do is you're just out $1. It costs you $1, and you have 22 inside working for $1. Well, if you have $250 as a bankroll and it only costs you $1 for 22 inside, you can do that all flipping night. All right. So that now, if the 6 or 8 hits, you see under the 6 or 8, it says add $5, and then you're going to take both bets up to $12. And again, if either one of those hits again, you're going to be out $1. That 22 costs, it's amazing. It's really close. So yeah, you're not out completely. You don't have a profit, but so what? Your 22 inside only costs you $1. So what we're doing is we're mitigating the cost. We're trying to diminish our exposure to the table because we know there's a lot of 0.7s coming. That's just how the nature of the game. 7 is the most likely number. Once you get a point, there's a good chance you're going to have a 7 because that's the highest likelihood of a number to roll. 6 ways to make a 7, more ways to make a 7 than any other number, right? Now, keep in mind, there's still 30 other ways of the dice out of 36. So there's 30 other ways that other numbers will roll, okay? So we don't have to be too pessimistic about the 7 being the next number to come all the time, right? So that's a way to get out. Now, once we add the 4 and 10, we can do the same thing. We can add $1, go to $10 each. And again, we're going to regress. So we're going to get out. That, by the way, is $32 across, okay? Okay, ready? We're going to go to the next slide. All right. This, I believe, is the best system, and it's so simple, and we call it squeeze play. Okay, so the idea is you're gonna squeeze out as much money on the table as possible. There's a few reasons why it's called squeeze play. We have it for every table. There's no $5 squeeze play. I mean, you can play $5 squeeze play. I suppose it's pretty easy, but at that point, Triple Lux is another system we have. You can find it online. Okay. It's very simple. You start at $110 inside. Any number hits. You don't even have to pay attention to the sisters. It really doesn't matter. Any number hits is going to pay. Any inside number hits, by the way, is going to pay $35. You throw in another $5, right? And you add $20 to the 4 and $20 to the 10, and they better auto buy it for you, okay? Yeah. Some places you're going to have to pay $1 big for those bets, but for the most part, a $20 4 or $20 10 will pay you $39, okay? Now, if any box number hits that second number, you're going to come down to $96 across. Okay, you started a little bit higher at 110, by the way. Now, if you had started at $96 across, you would need a few numbers and a few presses to get your money back. That's Triple Lux. You can get 2 power presses and your number back. But we start at 110, we go a little higher, and then just 2 rolls in, we're out. We're literally out, and we're not out completely. Okay, so the way the system works is, around $20 is what it's going to cost us, but we have $96 across for around 20. It depends on what hits and what the casino pays you for those bets, but you're out. So in 2 numbers, and I know you've most of it been a crap table. I mean, we can suffer through for 2 numbers. And again, we're gonna do now. This system does not need as big a bankroll because of the way that it limits your exposure to the table. And you're gonna be like, David, it doesn't. I'm in 110. Yeah, but if on a $15 table, if you went across, you'd be in 96. So it's not a really big bridge to go. You follow? So it's a small premium, and then 1 hit. 2 hits, out, okay? And you don't have to pay attention to the sisters or how they press or whatever. Now, the next part of this, and this is the part where you're going to come see me, hopefully, or, we have this on Patreon. We have the pressing sheets. So we have all the pressing sheets, and we have basic presses, power presses, and sort of the pressing dynamics. And pressing isn't always about you. Sometimes it's about the dealer, right? There's a lot of context that goes into this game. Unfortunately, not every deal is the same. As some dealers deal in. What's going on? Are you laughing at me?
No.
No? Oh, okay. I thought
just some movement.
Just movement?
Oh, good.
So some of the presses we have are built around, I've been a dealer. I know what other dealers want to see. And once you start, coming up with these weird numbers and you're pressing these bets to these weird things, it just throws it off. Not so, they're great bets. They're still good bets. You're saying, hey, David, why don't I have $102 on the 16-8? Well, because dealers just don't know the bet. And if you want to sit there and try working out the math with these guys all day long, that's on you. Fantastic. But there's other types of presses that you can get involved in. So one of them I'm going to talk about is so let's say you come back down to 96. All right. So I'm going to give you some basic presses verbally. But the sheets are online. I'm going to give you some basic, the first level. The first $15 is going to pay you $27. This is after you come to 96. You take that $15 to $40 on the 4 or the 10. So once we're out, once we get our 96 across, now we just want to press 1 number at a time. We want to maximize our return for that number. And you're like, well, why not press 2 numbers at a time? Well, the more numbers you press, you're spreading it out, right? There's less of an opportunity to get more money out of the roll. We're trying to squeeze this table for every dollar it has. So on the 4 and 10, 15 goes to 40, goes to 100, goes to 300, right? Then if you were to collect a $600 roll on the fourth one, you can take it up to maybe 500, something more reasonable that dealer can follow, okay? But you can go up very quickly, all right? Let's go to $15 on the 5 or the 9. $15, the first press you go to 35 or 36. A lot of people like going to 36, especially if you run into Matt on a craps table, he'll take you right to 36. Some dealers will give you that $1 back, strangely enough, which it's easier to pay a $36 5 because it's just 2 green chips. Easier.
Rather than asking for one.
Or asking for one or doing 49. But let's say you can go to 36. So the next number would be 8. So let's say 15. The first hit, 36. The second hit, 86. The third hit, 125. 125 is going to pay 175. So that fourth hit is where you can go to 300, and then you're at 420. So you get paid 420. On that fifth hit, I throw in $30 and go to 750. I could be in the yellow on the sixth hit. I'm getting paid $10.50 off of $15 5 or 9. Okay. All right. On the 6 and 8, we're doing this a little bit quickly because we're going to sign off here in a second. But on the fifth, I was told not to do that. Shh, wait for it. I'm giving you the units. Dennis is like, damn it. So you have an $18 6 or 8. The first hit, you throw in $3. You take the first one all the way up to 42. Right? After you at 42, it's going to pay 49. You're going to get a dollar change, go all the way to 90. 90 pays 105. You're going to add $15, so you have 120 and 90. That's 210. Then the next hit, it's going to pay 245. You're going to get $5 change, go all the way to 450, and then you can get 5 1/4. You can go to 900, gets 1050 on the 6th or 7th hit. Again, get a purple or a yellow chip, just like that. And so remember where we talked about that 6 and 8? We talked about the 6 and 8, the 200 times you could lose and still max out that one time. Well, that's what we're talking about now. So you get out as quickly as you can. You stay in the roll. And then the one roll that comes up, the one opportunity that's created by a shooter, you're able to max it out all the way. You know what I mean? And I get it. I mean, some of these units, going to purples or Barneys, doing the yellows, doing the bananas, it's going to get a little nerve-wracking.
It's going to stress people out for sure.
It's going to stress people out. It does stress. What stresses me out the most is actually shooting the dice. I feel for a lot of people out there don't like to roll. It's a lot of pressure. I feel less pressure doing this.
Yeah, that's why they 7 out, because they can't take the pressure.
Yeah, no, I can't take the pressure. I'm a terrible shooter. When the dice come to me, I usually try to pass or give them to Alex or try any reason not to be involved. It's very nerve-wracking because I don't like the idea that everybody is, betting on me, and if I 7 out, everyone loses. Even though it's really not my fault, but it is my fault. You follow? So it just feels weird. Okay. Any questions? I'm gonna do some Q&A. Anybody have any questions about that?
No Q&A, but 200 likes.
Holy, nice. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
That means genius hack.
Oh my God, genius hack going out. I really appreciate you guys. All right, you ready? By the way, we're going to send the genius ass out. Wow, holy smokes. We're going to send it out with another lanyard. We still have these lanyards to give out, so we're going to send it out lanyard. The chip you're going to have to come in here for, but the hat is actually a really cool hat.
It's a genius hat.
It is a genius hat. I love this hat. The story goes, you ready? My mother used to come in here constantly.
Well, first do the word and then do the story.
Yeah,
we'll do
the
word.
word.
We'll do the story. The word is genius, dude.
Genius.
All right. And Matt will tell Matt when to stop and pick the number.
Let him type it in first. Go on with the story.
So my story is my mother used to come in here and constantly be like, dude, my son is a genius. And I would be like, Mom, by the way, I'm not so genius. It took me 50 years to figure shit out, okay? As a crap dealer, dealing the game. I just love this game, get buried in it. To be honest with you, I didn't have the greatest credit. When I got out of the military, it was hard for me to find a job. So, if you look at it that way, not so much genius. At 50, I finally found something, pretty exciting to get to claw away at, and here we are. So, thank you, Mom, and thank you, Ronnie. Ronnie started this, so thank you, Ronnie. And Ronnie's been with us now for 3 years. It's fantastic. You have Ronnie. If you're ever looking for a great coach, a dice coach, he's really fantastic. He takes it easy. He'll introduce you to the game. Even if you're not that interested in setting, that kind of thing, he's just a very casual, comfortable dude to get you acclimated to the game. He's a good time. We love Ronnie to death. And he makes some fantastic ribs, dude. Fantastic ribs. All right. Okay, ready? Are they typing away fiendishly?
They're typing away.
All right. Matt should say stop. What do you think?
You ready? And stop it.
What number?
Let's do number 4.
Number 4. I'm going to butcher this. Risto Quinn, you are the winner.
Congratulations.
I'll type you in chat just in case if I completely butchered it.
Fantastic. You're going to get a lanyard and a hat, buddy. Thank you so much. Hope you wear it.
Genius.
We've been selling these quite a bit, man. I think it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. We're getting some updated ones that sort of have the casino quest. These are sort of your own thing, so people will know where you were a genius. I was given another hat, but I'm too humble. No, I'm not too humble. I mean, I'm halfway humble. Anyways, Jet's here. We're going to blame Jet for any mistakes we might have made during this show, just so you know. He was our technical advisor. No, he's just laughing. And we love all you guys. Thank you so much for being part of this experience. And we hope to see you at Casino Quest. As always, if you're interested in making a reservation, CasinoQuest.biz, you get a little discount. If you have any groups or events you want to plan here, we do it all. We might have a gender reveal coming.
What?
And we have, you know, lots. It's interesting because we have
parties.
like a lot of like banks coming by. We have a lot of high profile players coming by. We have some really cool shows lined up for you. We have one of the biggest Baccarat planner ever to hit the planet, and she's gonna be with us again. So we're looking forward to that. We've got Jen, Human Resources, Casino Human Resources next week, which will be very exciting. And then we have Scott coming back. We have Scott Morrow, Mr. Professor.
Ooh, yes.
UNLV Professor Scott Morrow. We're gonna go all stories, by the way. Me and him are gonna swap some stories. He got some stories, dude. He was down in Macau. He's got some stories, man. He's got some gangster stories. He's got some stories, some scary ass stories. And we're gonna just have one episode. It's gonna be stories. And there we go. So that it? I think that's it. Good. Thank you guys very much.
Before
Go.
we leave, super chat $2, $20 roll, $25 come, 25 field, no 6 and 8, $60. I'll be OCT. Maybe it'll be out in October. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But thank you so much for the super chat.
Yes.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you. Bye. See you guys. Take care
Bye.
next time. Bye. Fantastic.